I still remember that night vividly, the kind of night that chills you to your core. It was in a small village in India, a place where the whispers of the past lingered in the air, and the shadows seemed to have a life of their own. I had gone there to visit my grandmother, who lived in an old ancestral home that had seen better days. The house was surrounded by dense trees, and the villagers often spoke of a spirit that roamed the woods at night. They called her Chudail, a ghostly figure said to be the soul of a woman wronged in life. I had always dismissed these stories as mere folklore, tales spun to frighten children, but that night I would learn the truth. After dinner, I decided to take a stroll outside. The moon hung high, casting an eerie glow over everything. As I walked deeper into the woods, I felt a strange sensation, as if I was being watched. I shrugged it off, attributing it to my imagination. But then I heard it, a soft, mournful wail that echoed through the trees. My heart raced. I thought of turning back, but curiosity got the better of me. I followed the sound, pushing through the underbrush until I stumbled upon a clearing. There, in the moonlight, stood a figure draped in white. Her long hair hung like a curtain over her face, and her hands were outstretched, as if reaching for something or someone. I froze, unable to move. The stories flooded back to me, and I realized I was staring at the Chudal. Suddenly, she turned her head, and I caught a glimpse of her face. It was twisted in sorrow, her eyes hollow and filled with despair. I felt a wave of sadness wash over me, an overwhelming sense of loss that made my chest tighten. I wanted to run, but I was rooted to the spot, caught in her gaze. In that moment, I understood her pain. She was not just a ghost. She was a woman who had suffered, betrayed by those she loved. The villagers had spoken of her tragic story, how she was accused of witchcraft and cast out, left to wander the woods for eternity. I felt a deep empathy for her, a connection that transcended fear. As if sensing my thoughts, she began to move closer. I could hear her whispering, words I couldn't quite make out, but the tone was pleading. I wanted to help her, to offer some solace, but I was paralyzed by fear. Just then, a branch snapped behind me, and I turned to see a group of villagers approaching, lanterns in hand. They had come to find me, to bring me back to safety. When I looked back, the figure was gone, vanished into the night. The villagers told me I had been lucky to escape. They warned me never to venture into the woods alone again. But I couldn't shake the feeling that I had encountered something real, something that had changed me forever. That night, I learned that some stories are rooted in truth, and sometimes the past refuses to stay buried. I left the village the next day, but the memory of the Chudail haunted me. I realized that her story was not just a tale of horror. It was a reminder of the pain that can linger long after life has ended. And as I drove away, I couldn't help but glance back at the trees, wondering if she was still watching, still waiting for someone to hear her story.